The uke tries to loosen the choke by pulling down on the tori's right arm with both hands. The tori moves in slightly to release the uke and begin the kata hajime. The tori moves behind the uke to apply the kata hajime. The tori grips the uke's left collar deeply with his right hand and slides his left hand under the uke's left arm to press the elbow up high, breaking his balance to the rear. The tori then draws his right foot back, twisting to the right as he slides his left hand under his right arm to apply the choke. The tori slides his left hand under his right arm, fingers extended and the palm facing inwards to apply the choke. The uke grabs the tori's left wrist with his right hand and tries to pull down. From kata hajime to gyaku jujijime. The tori moves to the uke's right while the uke assumes a prone position. The tori moves slightly in and moves the uke's right arm to his left. He moves closer and applies the gyaku jujijime. The tori grabs deep into the uke's left collar with his left hand, thumb outside, and pushes the uke's left arm outwards with his right hand, straddling him. He then takes firm hold of the uke's right collar using a reverse grip so that his arms are crossed. He then pulls with both hands to apply the choke. The uke presses the tori's elbows up with both hands to break the hold. The tori seizes this opportunity to roll onto his left and squeeze the uke's body between his legs, crossing his ankles and pulling with both hands to apply the choke. This is a bad example in which the uke is on top, making it possible for him to stand up and escape the choke. The tori forces the uke on his side to weaken his resistance. The tori releases his hold and returns to chikama and then to toma to stand. And the uke sits up and assumes kyoshi. They both readjust their judogi and proceed to kansetsu waza. This set is comprised of 5 techniques, as shown here. The uke assumes a prone position again. The tori stands up and moves towards the uke's right. He moves slightly closer and applies the ude-garami. The tori shows his intention to attack as he moves towards the uke. He takes the uke's left wrist and applies the ude-garami. Let's look at that again. The uke tries to grab the tori's collar, but the tori takes the uke's wrist with his left hand. He slides his right hand under the uke's arm and seizes the left wrist to apply the lock. The tori presses the uke's left elbow down on the mat just above his left shoulder. Bending the left arm at a right angle, he draws both wrists towards him to apply the lock. The uke twists his left wrist inwards and raises his left shoulder and hip in an attempt to break the lock. And now from ude-garami to ude-hishigi juji gatame. The tori demonstrates his intention to attack as he moves slightly towards the uke. Just as the uke is about to grab his left collar, he locks the elbow. The tori takes the uke's right wrist and pulls up, pressing the tip of his right foot against the armpit. He swings his left leg over the uke's head and traps the uke's upper right arm between his legs, pulling the arm up to lock the elbow. The tori applies the lock, twisting the uke's arm so that the thumb is turned away from him. The uke raises his hips and draws his right arm towards him, twisting to the left in an effort to escape. From ude-hishigi juji gatame to ude-hishigi ude-gatame. The tori demonstrates his intention to attack. Just as the uke is about to grab his right collar, he lowers his body and traps the uke's left wrist between his neck and shoulder to lock the elbow with both hands. Let's take a look at how the tori uses his neck, shoulder and hands to apply the lock. He presses his right palm against the uke's elbow and places his left hand over his right, tightening his own elbows to draw the uke's elbow towards him. He then twists to the left to lock the arm. He presses his right shin against the uke's lower ribs to prevent him getting up. The uke tries to escape by pulling his left arm free. From ude-hishigi ude-gatame to ude-hishigi hiza-gatame. The tori stands up and advances to a position above the uke's head. In the meantime, the uke sits up and assumes kyoshi. The tori advances from toma to chikama. They both move slightly forward to engage in the right basic hold and enter into the ude hishigi hizagatame. The tori traps the uke's right arm under his armpit and presses the left knee against the uke's right elbow to lock the arm. The tori slips his left hand under and over the uke's right arm to draw it towards him and trap the uke's wrist in his armpit. He presses his palm against the uke's right elbow to lock it. The tori breaks the uke's balance to the front and presses his right foot against the uke's groin to fall backwards. He twists to the right and pushes with both feet to lock the elbow. The tori should push the uke's back with the tip of his left foot while pressing his left hand against the inside of his knee. The uke tries to escape by pushing his right arm between their bodies. They both stand and move on to the final technique in the Katame-no-Kata, ashigarami. When the kata were first introduced, ashigarami qualified as a randori technique, but now it's prohibited. The tori hooks his left leg over the uke's right leg to lock it. The tori attempts a tomoe nage, but the uke steps forward with his right foot and tries to lift him. At that moment, however, the tori shifts his hips to the right and presses the back of his foot against the inside of the uke's left knee to pull him forward, hooking his leg over the uke's right. Here's how to hook the leg. The tori brings his left leg around the uke's right leg from behind and wedges his left foot against the uke's lower abdomen, twisting his hips to the right. He straightens his left leg and pulls with both hands to lock the knee. The uke attempts to escape by twisting to the left. The tori and uke move apart and assume kyoshi. From chikama, the tori takes 2 steps back to toma. The uke takes 1 step back to return to his starting position. They both stand and assume shizen hontai. They then return to their positions at the start of the kata. Let's review the Katame-no-Kata. The first technique in the set of osai komi waza is kesagatame. The tori traps the uke's right arm in his armpit, pressing his body firmly against the uke's with his legs spread wide apart. The uke makes 3 attempts to escape. Kata-gatame consists of controlling the uke's arm and neck with the left leg extended to apply the hold. principles behind the 3 attempts at escaping must be linked. The third technique is Kami-shiho-gatame. The tori traps the uke's arms with both of his arms, lowers his hips and applies the hold, making sure that his insteps are off the floor. Yoko-shiho-gatame. The tori grabs the left side of the uke's belt with his right hand and grips the uke's left collar with his left hand. He presses both knees against the uke and holds him down.